Welcome to Tony's Cool Tools. If it's your first time, thanks for stopping by. For all you regulars, I appreciate you coming back. Well, we have a mystery accessory here, or I should say attachment. I'll give you a clue. It is for the 3-point. That's as much as I'm going to give you. Anyone have an idea? Stay tuned and we shall unveil. All right, has anyone guessed yet? If you would have said snowblower, you would have been wrong. Now guys, I don't want you pulling out your dollar bills when I start stripping the tarp off. Yes, it is a rototiller. We're going to be doing some food plots. Last year, I purchased this. Talk about delayed gratification. Guys don't like that when you have to wait this long. I purchased this in March of last year because it was on order for about 4 to 5 months and nobody had them. So this is a 60-inch. I'll give you details in a moment. I'm removing the PTO shaft that was wired in here, and it's wired through the universal joints onto the bin, or onto the frame here. That way it'll make it easier to lift out. We'll recycle the wire for some other projects. Oh, God, that's heavy. Okay, I've hooked up the chain onto the hitch pin over here, and I'm using a chain shortener. I'll show you how that works on a different video. It's pretty cool, and the gentleman or the company that makes it makes quality products here in the US. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna loosen this wooden crate up and get the tiller out of there. Yes, I am using my Fiskars aviation snips and my Fiskars wrecking bar. If you're wondering what all this wrapping was, I had to store this outside in the woods, so I covered it with a tarp, and I covered all these areas with some foam so it wouldn't tear the tarp apart. Well, I think I might have to go to Plan B. I'll be right back. Okay, we're back with our reciprocating saw, also known as a sawzall for everyone. And we have a bimetal blade that will cut nails. There we go. Side one is done. It's holding good. Okay, let's see if we can remove this. Okay, now to clean up the mess that we have from the pallet here. And there's a bunch of nails in here, so we're going to have to be careful with those. And we'll probably end up burning most of this if we can. All right, let me go get the tractor. We'll move this out of the way and clean it up. Okay, we're gonna move this out of the way and clean this area up. Well, we've cut the pallet apart, and we have some remnants here. One thing I really hate is flat tires. So what I like to do is make sure I pick up any of the metal that I think is around here. So I can see there's a piece there, and I happen to have a machinist magnet, and I can pick that up. Here's another piece I found. But that's going to take me all day to go around this area here and find out anything that was wrong. Let me see if we have something that's more appropriate for the job. Well, how do you like that? We just so happen to have a magnet, a big one, and you can hear it picking stuff up. Give you an example. So, if I didn't use this, this is what we have on the bottom. Look at those two nails and the piece of magnet right there, or the piece of metal right there. That could potentially go into either my car tire or my tractor tire. If it goes into the rear tire, I may lose all my beet juice and it'll be very expensive. So this tool here is not extremely expensive, and it will save a lot of problems. Here's how it releases the metal. You just lift this up and all your debris is left right here, easily to pick up. Well, we're on day 2 of the King Kutter tiller installation. We ran out of time yesterday, so we're in the pole barn now. It's 90 degrees outside with 60% humidity, so I'm blessed to have a pole barn that's insulated, and it's about 20 degrees difference. So what a comfort. But anyways, let me give you some details on this unit here. It's a King Kutter model TG60YK. It's 60 inches, smoother operation. The unit has a slip clutch, not a shear pin. And it also has a kickstand, which we'll show you shortly. Okay, I'll take you through a walk around here and show you what I've done, because it was too lengthy to just continuously have the video on. I went ahead and I attached this to all 3 points here, and I tried to assemble the drive shaft. Unfortunately, I could not get the PTO portion of the machine. I could not slip the shaft or the PTO shaft on it. There was way too much paint on the shaft. So I ended up having to utilize my automotive scraper here and scrape all the paint off of it before I could get it on. And lo and behold, once I installed it, I found out I didn't need to cut the PTO shaft. The last two implements I had that were PTO driven, I had to cut the PTO shaft, which is not difficult, but it is a pain. The one end has a slip clutch. The other one is a standard pin type that snaps on to the tractor PTO. One of the problems that I found was after I installed this, or even before I installed this, is the Zerk fitting, which is in there, if you can see that, is at a 45-degree angle. And unfortunately, I could not get the unit, or I could not get the grease gun to grease that. So what I ended up doing is utilizing this pin type greasing device. You hook your grease gun on the end, and this little pin, you push it into the grease Zerk ball joint and push while pumping grease into it. That really saved my life on it. I use the LockNLube grease device on my hand pump. I do have the Milwaukee 18 volt and will be doing a separate video on greasing and equipment necessary. What I needed to do was fill the gearbox up with 90 weight or 80-90 weight gear lube, as well as the gear drive right here. And what I did was I would fill this up with gear oil. I removed this plug first, fill this up until it started dripping down the sides, plug that back up, and as you can see, the residue from the oil is still on the cardboard there. And then now it's totally full. So we'll install those and get them ready. One thing I forgot to mention is, as you can see, this is wide open here, but it was not that way. I had to remove this cover here so that I can gain access to that PTO shaft and slip clutch. And it is under tension, so when you take it out, it will definitely spring, but that's the only way I can get at that slip clutch and work on it, unless I had the unit totally off. Told you I was going to show you the kickstand and forgot all about it. Here it is. That's it. One thing I forgot to mention was the fit and finish of this product. The welds are excellent. One of the things that I had to do was to cut these pieces with my Dremel and round them over, because I hit my shin twice with them, and I know with shorts you'd tear them up. The other thing that I did was use the grinder on the Dremel and just soften these up so that they were not sharp. But other than that, everything else is excellent as far as the welds and how it looks. On the next video, we'll take this on its maiden voyage and see how it does. Until then, thank you for watching. Remember, pass it forward, make the world a better place, and don't be a tool. Watch Tony's Cool Tools. Thanks.